Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to UNESCO's COP28 Conference on Education for Sustainable Development. My name is Joel Canella.
My name is Cecil. Thank you for coming for the UNESCO and Eco Week. Special thanks to Mr. Boucher, the coordinator,
To all the students who helped make COP28 possible,
the head of school, Mrs. Hollington, the secondary principal, Mrs. Lockwood.
and of course to all the parents who took their time to come here.
Today we're going to show you different types of presentations, like PowerPoint, animation, and poem.
Let's start the conference by a little greeting from the head of school, Ms. Hollington, and the secondary principal, Ms. Lodwick.
I just wanted to welcome everybody. I'm with Council Mrs. Lodwick with my students, but it's wonderful that parents have come to see what the amazing things our students are thinking about and actually taking action about. So you're very welcome to the school. I'm looking forward to this very much.
Thank you, boys. It's interesting that COP28 actually was held last year, 2023, in November, December, in Dubai, which is a country that has made all its money from fossil fuels, from oil and from gas. But at that particular COP28, they did come up, the whole of the corporation came up with a global stock take, really, which was the most significant thing that happened at that conference, because everybody came together. It took them a long time to decide. They were up all night agreeing on certain procedures to try to lower emissions and to try to cap the temperature to 0.5. And I think what the students have been doing is actually really diving deep into what is their future. Because with fossil fuels and all sorts of pollution in the world, the future doesn't look good. But with the students that we have, who will be the leaders of tomorrow, they're not only now standing up for themselves, but they're researching and finding out just how things can make a positive impact on the world rather than spoiling it. In some countries, you might have heard that there have been not protests, but certain sectors of the young people, sections of the young people, who are actually taking the governments to task because they're saying it's a duty of care. Governments have a duty of care to actually keep the planet safe for the coming generations. So our students are here to present to you how they can make a difference, because I always say, if every politician had been an IB student, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in. Because our students think deeply, they act bravely, and they certainly will push the agenda when it comes to the time when they can vote and when they can make a change in the world. So welcome to the students who have worked really, really hard. Their research is absolutely top-notch, and they will present to you their findings. So please welcome all of the students here today.
Thank you for the beautiful greeting. I appreciate it. Now we're going to give a warm welcome to Echo and Yuyao. They're doing a presentation about Olympics and sustainability.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yuying. Today we're going to present about the Olympics and sustainability. Part 1, Sustainability Plan for the Paris 2024 Olympic. Part 2, Quiz Time and Sources. Paris and the Olympics. general introduction of the Olympics.
The 2024 Summer Olympics, and commonly known as Paris 2024, is an upcoming international field sport event taking place from 26 July to 11 August 2024 in France, which takes place mainly in Paris and also 16 other French metropolis cities. Fun facts.
Having previously hosted in 1900 and 1924, Paris will become the second city after London to host the Summer Olympics 3 times.
During the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, there will be 41 Olympic sports and 4 additional sports. In the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games, there will be 22 sports and 549 events that take place from 28 August to 8 September.
Let's talk about our main topic, climate change. We all know what's climate change. It refers to long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns. Since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change. The primary reason is the greenhouse gas emissions generated by burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. The greenhouse gas includes carbon dioxide and methane. They trap the heat of the sun and keep them on Earth. That's what causes the global warming. So now, the sustainable development has now become very important.
Talking about sustainability, is the city where the 2024 Olympics will be held Paris. Paris, a sustainable and eco-friendly city. When we talk about Paris, we often say that it is the city of light and the city of love, since that we always focus on cultural or historical aspects. But do you know that Paris is also a very sustainable, eco-friendly and eco-responsible city?
Efforts made against global warming in Paris. The city of Paris is actively engaged in climate protection. In the fight against global warming, many actions have been taken in Paris to encourage walking and cycling. For example, the Seine riverbanks were redeveloped for pedestrians, and to encourage cycling, 150 kilometers of cycle lanes have been built in Paris and the inner suburbs.
The city of Paris is accelerating its actions to make itself more breathable and less noisy.
An unconventional set Olympics. We know that climate change is a big crisis for the nature, which is the main place of work for the athletes. However, if the nature is destroyed, we might not be able to do many sports. The conventional games organizational model wouldn't be possible to achieve the reductions required to meet France climate commitments. This is why Paris 2024 wants to use another way to organize the Olympics, not only to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions, to be an inspiration for the later Olympics, to protect the biodiversity, and also leave a positive legacy for the environment. Let's move to the next slide for the detailed goals and ambitions. The main objectives are create eco-responsible games that harness sustainable solutions, organize games that boost regional growth and improve the quality of life for locals, create responsible games that open up opportunities for everyone. The goals are guarantee a carbon-neutral games, protect the biodiversity, set up a circular economy to the games, guarantee a positive impact on the climate, improve living conditions and access to sport in the host regions, structure and develop the sectors and professions required for the games, design a responsible purchasing strategy that optimizes the economic and social impact of the games, promote better inclusion of people with disabilities. Method to achieve these goals. The Paris 2024 method involves using a new model to factor in the carbon footprint of an event. Instead of forecasting an event's footprint or reporting and offsetting it once the event is over, Paris 2024 has started with a target carbon footprint. It represents as kind of carbon budget that needs to be kept to when delivering the games. This method helps us to transform the way we think about greenhouse gas emissions and to enable the management and control of an event's impact. Previous editions of Summer Games emitted 3.6 million tons of CO2 on average, yet Paris 2024 has set its carbon budget at 1.5 million tons across all main sources of emissions. This is a diagram that shows the comparison between the challenges and impacts of the Olympics. These are the 5 topics: biodiversity and ecosystem, circular economy, scenery and heritage, carbon footprint, and the environmental health. Drawing up a zero-waste policy to guide and support the ecosystem. For example, the City of Paris has always committed to strive to limit its single-use plastic usage and implement alternative solutions. Build sports facilities in the host area. Some of the host areas have a serious problem of lack of sports infrastructure, especially athletics facilities. The game can accelerate the development of host regions and contribute to increasing the range of sports on offer. Encourage local people to do sports. Research showed that 1 in 2 people in France are classed as either obese or overweight. 87% of teenagers are physically active for less than 1 hour a day. PE lessons at school are the main sources of physical activity for 80% of children, and 38% of disabled members struggle to play sports in a club. Based on these observations, the solutions are launched or accelerated as a result of the games.
There will be more school lessons that lead changes to physical activity. There will be physical training for workers and games construction sites. There will be courses to train clubs how to accommodate people with disabilities.
Quiz time and sources. I know we're all excited for the quiz time. Question 1. This is not about this presentation, but also about the Olympics itself. On slide 10 and 11, we can see these red hats. They are the mascots of Paris 2024. Do you know what is their name? A. Red Hats. B. Frankie and Franco. C. Francesco and Paul. D. Fridges. Okay, anyone have the answer? You?
He said red hat.
Okay.
Another guess here.
C? Sorry? C? Try again.
D.
B? Yes, that's the right answer.
Oops.
The correct answer is D. They are inspired by the Phrygian caps. They are the hats of the French Revolution and the symbols of freedom.
Question 2. What is the new way of controlling the carbon emissions made in the games that the Paris 2024 is using?
C.
Yeah. The answer is C. Thank you for listening. We hope that the
That was a great presentation from Echo and Yuya. Next up is Navonan Art with a model demonstration and speech about transportation, the future of travel.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Awit.
And my name is Devon.
Today we will be presenting about the future of transportation, speed, and sustainability.
Transportation has been developing since humans have been on this earth. But now transportation is the most contributing factor to climate change. So if we revolutionize and make it travel sustainable, the problem of global warming will be slowed down and maybe even be stopped. It has allowed us humans to get from everywhere and every place on time. And now that has been the most important factor of transportation until now, speed. How fast can you get from place to place? Well, the world has been developing very, very fast forms of transportation. So let's start off with the world's fastest train, the Shinkansen. The SC maglev, or the Shinkansen, uses electromagnetic suspension, or the EDS system, which is a system for levitation, guidance, and propulsion. We can see that here in our model of the Shinkansen. Since it has no wheels, you can see, it uses electromagnets on the bottom of the train to levitate off the ground. This decreases the drag by 100%, making a very, very, very fast train. It has been in development since the 1960s, and the railway system will be used in the Chuo Shinkansen rail line between Tokyo and Nagoya, Japan. The line currently under construction is scheduled to open in 2037. The LO series, a prototype of the Shinkansen, which is this train, we can see, holds the world record for the fastest rail manned vehicle for a record of 603 kilometers an hour. It is possible that this train is able to reach these speeds not only due to its engine, but also because of the deleted drag of the wheels. Furthermore, the Shinkansen is fully electric, and it emits 1/8 of the carbon per passenger mile as a typical commercial airliner, making it one of the most sustainable trains in Asia. The Volaro Novo, it's another train I would like to talk about today, is the train for everyone that wants a competitive edge in global high-speed and intercity transportation. But this train focuses on aerodynamics. It's not a maglev train like the Shinkansen, but instead it covers the wheels. You can see there's no wheels on this train. So the air won't get stuck in the wheels, and the drag will also be deleted, but by 50%. This train is able to stay at its top speed for over 360 kilometers an hour due to the improved aerodynamics. That will increase its overall availability by over 10%. Also, the maintenance cost of this train will be reduced to over 30% due to its overall reduced weight by 70 metric tons. With all of these upgrades to the previous model, the Volaro Novo will be the most sustainable railway in the US.
Trains are useful for traveling on land, but in the air, they don't cut it. So, this is where planes come in. Airbus has an ambition to bring to market the world's first hydrogen-powered commercial aircraft by 2035. To get there, they have created their Zero E project. Currently, hydrogen is highly expensive due to its low availability, but it is a completely sustainable resource. It produces energy exactly like other fuels. It burns. When hydrogen and oxygen are mixed, they create heat. But instead of smoke or toxic as a byproduct, it's water vapor or steam. This is what makes hydrogen energy sustainable. It is also what gives the zero emission in Airbus's Zero E technology. The first plane I would like to talk about is the turbofan. The Zero E turbofan is a hybrid model designed for hosting about 200 passengers and for medium haul flights with a range up to 2,000 nautical miles or about 3,500 kilometers. This has an engine, a special type of engine called a turbofan engine.
Let me evaluate on this engine for you guys. So this is how the engine works. This engine is different from other jet engines because instead of just having all the air that it takes in funneled into the compressor, it takes over 50% of that air, speeds it up with a large turbofan, and shoots it at the back. This reduces overall noise and emissions. What it does, you can see right here, for the other 50% of the air that it takes in, is it takes into this little engine, it compresses it, and it speeds it up to a very, 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 very fast speed, and it heats it up. It mixes it with gas, and it burns into this jet fuel substance. Then it shoots it at the back, and that's what creates the force. That mix between hot air and cold air that the turbofan is also spitting out creates extreme lift.
The second and last airplane I would like to talk about is the blended wing body, which is an airplane which looks like this, and it is a wing in itself. It can host about 250 passengers and go up to a range of 4,000 nautical miles, or about 7,500 kilometers. And this, as it is in a wing shape, it reduces drag and overall increases the efficiency of it by a lot. And the engines on this are the same as the turbofan but smaller.
Traffic has been a problem since roads have been in use. But with the Shinkansen, Velaro Novo, and Airbus's hydrogen-powered planes of the future, roads will not be needed. Instead, train tracks and air routes will be used for travel. Disregarding air traffic, the problem of traffic will be eliminated completely. Since all of the transportation will be automated by the pilot or the conductor of the vehicle, the passengers will be able to travel at higher speeds with lower risk. And without needing to drive themselves, they will be also to work remotely during travel. This will increase the amount of time they have out of the desk. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Sahil doing an animation about sustainable cities to look for tomorrow.
My name is Sahil Saeed, and here you're going to see an animation about sustainable cities. I guess you all know what sustainable city is, but if you don't, you can see here. And this has my voice stopped.
Look at these guys working really hard at something. What do you think they're working on? Well, first off, these people were, of course, scientists. And why all the greenery you see in their labs? They're working on nothing more than the look for tomorrow. You also forward to sustainable cities. But to achieve that, you must care about the color green. And this is the sustainable cities to look for tomorrow.
That was a great animation made by Sahil. And next we'll have another PowerPoint by Inchara on Amazon on life support.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Inchara. Today, I'm going to talk about Amazon on life support. The Amazon rainforest covers the northwestern Brazil and extending into Colombia, Peru, and other South American countries. Is the world's largest tropical rainforest, famed for its biodiversity. How can the Amazon rainforest be managed sustainably? Logging and replanting. Selective logging of mature trees ensure that the rainforest canopy is preserved. This method allows the forest to recover because the younger trees gain more space and sunlight to grow. Plant and controlled logging ensures that for every tree logged, another is planted. Is the Amazon rainforest a sustainable ecosystem? Self-sustaining ecosystems are vast landscapes that create ideal conditions for their own survival. The Amazon rainforest, for example, generates at least half of its own rainfall through the hydrological cycle, which in turn supports the abundance of the rainforest vegetation. What is sustainable development in the Amazon rainforest? Sustainable management ensures rainforests are worth more than the value of the timber and other resources that can be extracted, such as gold. An example of this is sustainable forestry, which balances the removal of trees to sell with the conservation of the forest. How does the Amazon rainforest support life? The Amazon is of vital importance because people around the world, as well as locally, depend on it. Not just for food, water, wood, medicines, etc., but also to help stabilize the climate. Climate regulation. It goes through a process known as Amazon Rainforest Fund. It involves carbon sequestration, moisture recycling, and global climate regulation. Carbon sequestration. The Amazon stores a vast amount of carbon in its trees and vegetation, helping mitigate the effects of climate change. The rainforests act as a carbon sink. It absorbs carbon dioxide. Moisture recycling. The trees in the Amazon release water vapor through a process called as transpiration. This moisture is then carried by winds and forms a rain clouds, which provide rainfall not only to the Amazon itself, but also to the adjacent regions, including parts of South America and even North America. Global climate regulation. The Amazon's influence on weather patterns and precipitation extends for global climate system. Changes in the Amazon's health can disrupt these processes, leading it more extreme weather events worldwide. The ecological importance of the Amazon rainforest and role of sustainable agriculture. The Amazon rainforest, often referred to as the lungs of the earth, is a vast and unique ecosystem that spans over 6.7 million square kilometers, crossing 9 South American countries. This remarkable natural wonder is not only a treasure trove of biodiversity, but also plays a crucial role in regulating the global climate. However, the Amazon faces significant threats from deforestation, mining, and unsustainable agricultural practices. Sustainable and regenerative agriculture practices are vital to protect this invaluable ecosystem. Threats to the Amazon rainforest. Despite its immense ecological importance, the Amazon rainforest faces numerous threats, primarily driven by deforestation, mining, and unsustainable agricultural practices. Key challenges include deforestation. The clearing of land for agriculture, mining, and logging has resulted in vast areas of the Amazon being lost. This not only diminishes biodiversity but also reduces the forest's ability
to sequester carbon and regulate the climate. Monoculture farming. Large-scale monoculture farming, often involving soy, beef, and palm oil production, can deplete the soil, harm water quality, and contribute for deforestation. Land grabbing issues. Indigenous communities and the local populations are often displaced from their traditional lands to make way for agricultural expansion, leading to the social and cultural disruptions. Biodiversity hotspot. The Amazon rainforest is a home to an astonishing array of plant and animal species. Many of them are found nowhere else on Earth. It houses approximately 10% of the known species on the planet, making it one of the most biodiverse regions in the world. This this extraordinary diversity provides numerous ecological benefits. Species interdependence. The intricate web of the life in the Amazon relies on the coexistence of the various species. Each organism plays a unique role in maintaining the ecosystem balance, from pollinators like bees and butterflies to top predators like jaguars and anacondas. Medicinal discoveries. The Amazon's rich biodiversity has led to the discovery of numerous medicinal plants and compounds. Indigenous people have used these resources to treat various ailments, and modern medicine continues to benefit from these discoveries. Sustainable and regenerative agriculture as a solution. Sustainable and regenerative agriculture practices offer a glimmer of hope in the battle to protect the Amazon rainforest. These approaches prioritize ecological conservation and responsible land use. Agroforestry. Integrating trees and diverse crops in the same land not only maintains forests but also enhances the fertility and provides a sustainable source of income for the local communities. No-till farming. Reducing or eliminating plowing helps prevent soil erosion and degradation, preserving the Amazon's fertile soil. Indigenous land rights. Recognizing and respecting the land rights of indigenous communities help to protect the Amazon by allowing these communities to continue traditional land management practices that are often more sustainable. Thank you.
Next up, we have Gregory and Haruto doing a speech about law and order.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gregory, and this is Haruto. Today, you're going to be the parliament that will decide on accepting the laws or not in 2050. Law number one. Every nation should prioritize a renewable energy and reduce at least 40% of their fossil fuels usage. Those of you who would like to accept the law, please raise your hand. And now those of you who would not like to accept the law, please raise your hand. So law number one is accepted.
Number two, Nations will have to stop at least 60% of their fossil fuels production to stop the pollution. Those of you who want to accept it, please raise your hands. And those of you who want to reject it, so number 2 is accepted.
Law number 3. Every school that is not recycling will be destroyed. Those of you who want to accept the law, please raise your hand. And now, those of you who wouldn't like to accept this law, please raise your hand. Law number 3 is declined.
Number 4, fossil fuels companies should stop sponsoring sport events and teams by 65% minimum because it might promote fossil fuels and pollution. Those of you who want to accept it, please raise your hands. And those of you who want to reject it.
Speak into the microphone because we're not hearing. Okay.
Number 4 is rejected. Thank you.
If you'll drive more than 50 kilometers by car, you'll have to pay 500 euros or more. Those of you who want to accept the law, please raise your hands. Those of you who want to decline the law, please raise your hand. It's definitely declined.
Number 7, every city should plant at least 1,000 to 20,000 trees every year, depending on the size. Or it should plant double plant cuts down every year. Those of you who want to accept it, please raise your hands. And those of you who want to reject it. Okay, so number 7 is accepted.
Law number 8. If there is a massive fire in a big natural site, nations should send volunteers to the place where it's happening to plant the trees and flowers to make up the damage. Those of you who want to accept the law, please raise your hands. Those of you who want to decline the law, please raise your hand. The law is accepted.
Number 9, if you will burn more than 10 kilograms of trees for a cocoa, will be punished by planting 5 trees. If you want to accept, those of you who want to accept it, please raise your hands. Okay, so number 9 is accepted.
Number 10. Nations will need to control the amount of waste that are polluting the planet. If waste will not be controlled, there will be a punishment. Those of you who want to accept the law, please raise your hand. Those of you who want to decline the law, please raise your hand. Law number 10 is accepted.
Number 12. Number 11. If a nation will want to destroy their nature for development, there will be a conference between nations on accepting the move or not. Those of you who want to accept it, please raise your hands. And those of you who want to reject it, law number 11 is accepted.
Law number 12. If you will eat more than 2 kilograms of food,
the plastic plates in a day, you will be arrested for 48 hours.
Repeat. Repeat.
Number 12. If you will eat more than 2 kilograms of food in plastic plates in a day, you'll be arrested for 48 hours. Those of you who want to accept the law, please raise your hand. Those of you who want to decline, please raise your hand. Law is accepted.
That was a very fun poll by Gregory and Haruto. And next we have a PowerPoint presentation by Karam and Matti about 2024 International Year of Camelids.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mate. My name is Carol. And today we will be presenting why 2024 is the year of the camelids. So, why do animals or objects have a designated year? They have a designated year to raise awareness and on their conservation and protection, and also to celebrate their cultural and ecological importance, also to promote sustainable practices that are related to them.
What are camelids? Animals that are part of the species called camelids are camels, llamas, alpacas, vacunas, and vicuñas.
What are camelids and where do they inhabit? Camelids live in many countries and continents, including South America, the Middle East, South Asia, and countries in Africa. They live in these biomes, arid deserts, grassy plains, and also many diverse environments, including soaring highlands.
Why is 2024 the year of the camelids? The Sustainable Development Goals, also known as SDGs, symbolizes the fight against hunger, poverty, the rights of women, and the keeping the sustainability and keeping our ecosystems well and together. The importance of the camelids in the 90 plus countries in which it inhabits is very important because of its transportation of goods, its endurance in extreme weather conditions, and it's very well used. It's also very well known and used because of this. Because no other animals, livestock animals, are capable in living in such interesting conditions.
What else is coming with 2024 being the year of the camelids? This year, the UN are trying to show awareness to the untapped potential of camelids and the investment in the camelid sector, and advocating for greater research, capacity development, and the use of innovative ideas and technology.
They've made an event held on the 5th to the 10th of January 2024, which is hosted in Sadri, India, hosted by the Lakshmi Pushak Pelat Sansthan, which is also better known as the LPS, the League of the Pastoral People, which is also known as the LPP, and finally the Godward Camel Pastoral Milk Producers.
How can you contribute? You can educate others about the importance of camelids and their role in various ecosystems. You can do this by writing articles, giving presentations, or creating educational materials. You could volunteer with or support organizations working to conserve and protect camelid species, such as llamas, alpacas, and camels.
Research. You could participate or you could support research project aimed at understanding camelids and their habitats, as well as working to develop conservation strategies. Advocacy. You could advocate for policies and practices to promote the well-being and the conservative of the camelids.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Joao and Ivan doing eco quiz.
Good morning. My name is Joel.
And my name is Ivan. And my name is Ivan. So we're going to present you an environment quiz.
And I'll explain you the rules shortly. You can just put the presentation on. So this is an interactive quiz, so we're going to invite the parents to do 2 teams of 3 each to see who gets more points. So which parents want to volunteer to answer the questions?
Yeah, you're not parents.
Students can volunteer as well, it's fine.
Yeah.
Students can come, yes. Yeah, come here. I'll wait. Parents want to come, please sit down here, so we can do the 2 teams.
Okay, so we have 2 teams. Come on, parents, let's go!
And please face your camera too.
Yeah.
Don't be scared, it's fine. It's easy questions.
Yeah. So, we have, how many more parents do we need?
We need 6 people.
We need 6 people, guys.
Come on, parents in the front can answer too.
Yeah. Come join us.
Joel, what did we say?
We may not have enough parents. We need 3 more people. Do we? Yes, thank you. Okay, he's gonna do it from there. Maybe we do 2 sets.
Students, have you?
And one more student to battle the parents.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck.
So we're gonna do 3 easy questions, 3 medium questions, and 3 hard questions. And the last one's gonna be really hard. So it's gonna be like impossible.
Yeah, that's so basically going to be the actually it's pretty hard.
Ivan, just give me.
Okay, but the microphone doesn't work.
Yeah, you can move, no? Just move the microphone slightly. It's okay. Yeah. Ready? Let's go.
Because of greenhouse gases being released, the world has been heating up. What is that changing color?
Every single parent should get this. Is it A, global warming?
Please speak in the microphone.
Is it B, the melting meltdown? Is it C, the polar problem? Or is it D, the climate catastrophe?
Okay, so we have team 1, team 2. Okay, team 1, you can go say A.
A.
Okay. A. Okay.
Good job. You should have gotten that one. Very easy.
Yeah. There are 2 land masses of ice and the end of the planet that are melting because of the global warming. What are they called?
Is it A, Penguin Land? Is it B, Ice Cream Country? Is it C, the poles, south and north? Or D, Australia?
Okay, team 1. C. C.
C. Okay. It is C.
Good job.
Take it out. Take it out.
Yeah, that's important.
Take it out.
Okay. Next slide. Okay, humans have been using fossil fuel to power cars, trains, and planes, but they have been also hitting the earth by releasing greenhouse gases such as CO2. What are these action called? What is it? Yeah. So, team 1.
No, it's
C. You got it. Okay.
Is it A, dirtying? Is it B, polluting? Is it C, recycling? Or is it D, oiling?
Okay, team 1. B. Okay.
Okay, it is B.
Good job.
Now questions are going to get a little harder.
Yeah.
But still, I think you should get this.
Which of those energies is non-renewable?
Is it A, solar energy? Is it B, hydro energy? Is it C, nuclear energy? Or is it D, coal?
Okay, team 1. Okay, team 2.
It is coal. And although the material used for nuclear energy is non-renewable, the energy itself is renewable.
So, what is the worst greenhouse gas from the Earth?
Is it A, methane? Is it B, carbon dioxide? Is it C, nitrous oxide? Or is it D, sulfur hexafluoride?
So, Timon?
I think it's B.
B? Okay.
Team B?
Teammate.
B, both said B, and it is correct.
So, you have 5 points for team 2, 5 points for team 1.
Ivan, speak in the microphone. Or use that one. Use the one that works.
There you go. You can say that. So,
What country produces the most greenhouse gases?
Is it the USA? Is it Russia? Is it China? Or is it Japan?
What do you think?
Okay, C. C? Okay.
C, China.
And that's correct. Now, the questions will get harder because this is level hard. So, I'm gonna read the question. Okay.
How much will sea level rise by 2050?
Is it 1 foot, 1 meter, 1 centimeter, or 1 kilometer?
By 2050. I have a clue. It's something.
No. Whatever teams are ready, you can ask. Alright, time up. You have to answer.
Okay, team 1. What is it? Team 1.
We think A.
A.
Okay.
Team
You think it's A.
A. Congrats. It is A.
How much of the Amazon rainforest will burn every day? It's burn. Okay.
Is it 200,000 square yards, 2 million square yards, 200 square yards, or 2 square yards?
Every day.
We'll start with team 2 this time because I think they've been hella with their answers. A, team 2.
We're going for C. C?
They're both wrong. It's B. 2 million square yards.
That's hard question, so it's okay.
Now, number 9, this is the second hardest question in the whole game.
How many species will be extinct by 2050?
Is it 2,517? 2,489? 2,790? Or a million?
Okay. Good luck.
Team 2?
C.
C?
C?
We said C too.
C.
They're both wrong. It's 1 million.
Okay. Okay, the last question, the 10th question. It's impossible level. That's very hard. Very hard. Okay.
In flight from Paris to Madrid, how much carbon dioxide would each passenger eliminate?
So, both teams are tied. Whoever gets this question right wins.
Go parents.
Student, help.
Is it 15.4 kilograms, 3 grams, 180 kilograms, or 1 ton? If it helps, the flight is 2 hours.
D. D. Okay. Team 2. A.
A.
Okay.
And the answer is C.
I mean,
I guess it's a tie.
Yeah.
Neither team won. Alright, I'll take it, Lottie. The students win because their answer was closer. To end up the first half, we have a debate between 8A and 8B. The topic being
Students, as you come in, please respect the conference. Be quiet. Thank you.
the topic being, it is better to develop than to preserve the earth. The proposition is Jaden, Essam, Tyler, and David, and the opposition is Dewey, Avi, Tanya, and Arya.
Take it up, take it up. It's in that one. First speaker, proposition. Yeah.
Good morning. Okay, so good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here for defending that preservation is more needed for Earth than development. So it is clear that by few decades, technology has developed a lot, and we're in a new phase of preservation than the other days. So when we say preservation, it's different than the other days. But development is also, and we think that development is also in a new phase. So my teammates, which is the speakers after, will be talking about how how development in this new phase is so risk-taking and so dangerous for our Earth, and is not needed actually. And also, we have a name for this new phase, and it is called Anthropocene. And Anthropocene was named pretty recently by geographers and mostly scientists, and it was first introduced by Paul Trott, which is the Nobel Prize winner for chemistry. And Anthropocene is a time where human eats up all the energy sources for the infinite development. And in this period of time, we're having a great separation between preservation and development. So today, the question that I want you that I want to give you and I want to ask you is that do we actually need development while human eating up all the sources, all the natural sources, and while human trying to control the nature, even though we actually know that we can't control the nature completely. So just as an opening, I want to give you one research result made by WHO pretty recently. It was a research about how much people is affected by global warming or climate changes. So I think the result was pretty sad, and it was clear that a lot of people is actually affected by climate change and global warming. So the research showed that 3.6 million people is affected by global warming directly. So when I say directly, means like malaria flu, which is causes when the temperature is getting higher, and those illness or diseases that you get by the global warming and climate changes. So, and the most saddest thing about this result of the research is that it showed that developing countries, so poor countries, have more have more damage by the global warming. So what we're doing by development is basically giving all the thought to poor countries, while already developed countries developing. So do we want this by developing? And is this right? That is the whole point that we're gonna present today as our team for preservation. Thank you.
First speaker, opposition.
No, we're opposition.
That's right.
You guys are proposition.
That's why I didn't understand. It's okay. Just flip it. Go on.
Good morning, everyone. So we all know the rising problem of global warming, and we all know that the preservation of forests and environments is a rising problem. But let us think. We all here use a lot of carbon dioxide, and we all here like eating things that are produced by mostly machines. Stopping here would just put us in absolute chaos. We use fossil fuels for everything, for electricity. We use them to power. We use it for absolutely everything. And developing countries now, as some of you may know, the BRICS, which is a group of of countries containing 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, and China, are quickly developing countries, mostly just because they stop thinking about the environment as much. If you've ever seen pictures of Brazil, there's always one side that's more rich and one side that's in absolute slums that isn't developed, and no one wants to adopt that lifestyle. No one wants that, and that's why if we keep thinking about environment now when we do not have enough development, then we can't really continue, so that in the future, in the near future, we will develop technologies to bring back these environments. We are not saying that necessarily we have to exterminate all environments. We are saying that right now we have to develop, and later on we can work on our environmental footprint. Thank you very much.
Second speaker.
So the first point I'll be talking about is food security. So what does food security mean? Well, food security refers to the conditions in which all people have access to safe, sufficient, and nutritious food. However, as the opposition is prioritizing development before preservation of Earth, we will soon be eating food that has no organic benefits. And what happens when our bodies have no organic benefits is that our overall life quality becomes diminished, and we will face a bad quality of life. And when we're not healthy, we can't work as efficiently as we could before. And this is why we need to preserve the earth before developing. And here are some statistics. So the United Nations estimates that 9% of global population suffers from hunger, from industrial development. And annually, about 811 million people eat unhealthy food and are undernourished. And this is because of development. Also, if we don't secure food properly, it could harm our agriculture for the future. If you have the power of stopping this at your fingertips, why are you still proceeding and developing? Don't you guys have mercy for the future generations to come? Before this, you already gave the future generation a job, and that job was to prevent the earth from burning with pollution. And now you're also giving them a job with development and preservation of earth. So we aren't saying development is bad. We're just going to state the fact that development can be good if you do it sustainably. If you're going to destroy the earth, this cannot be good.
Time.
Don't try to develop in a manner that's going to harm countries and harm the environment. Thank you.
Second speaker.
Since you guys want to talk about the environment, and that's your points, and you guys are talking about access to healthy food, and America being one of the largest countries, we took them as our base, and 653,104 people in America are homeless and do not have access to fresh food or any food. But this statistic was taken in 2023, and the population of America in 2021 was 331.9 million people. But that was in 2021, which was at peak of COVID, and this number could have gone down drastically. And since there are many homeless people, which is one of the main causes of a country, hence why a country should focus on developing issues in their country before they focus on the world. Because as there are steps to doing something. So you have first step, second step, third step, blah, blah, blah. So the first step to a country is to actually get themselves right and in the position to develop and help the country, help the world with their issues, which is climate change. And this is one of the main points, which is poverty.
Thank you. Third speaker.
The next point we would like to speak about is public health. Firstly, rapid development often leads to increased pollution. As industries grow and expand, the pollutants in the air and water become increasingly prevalent, which can have major consequences on the public health, as exposure to pollutants can lead to respiratory problems, heart diseases, and types of cancer. Is that really what you want for you and your future generations to come? I would also like to say that it's not just us humans that are being affected by pollution and the effects of development. It's also various species that are going extinct or we're destroying their habitats. Did you know, according to the World Wild Fund, the wildlife population has decreased over 60% in the last 40 years. That's 60% of global wildlife gone. The major drop in biodiversity and wildlife can have consequences on the health and shelter of a vast number of species. You say we're developing for us humans, development for the 21st century. But what about the future generations? If we continue to go on like this, every mistake, everything we do to develop our country, our world, is going to catch up to us and affect your kids and their kids as well, future generations.
Time.
Something needs to happen, and it needs to happen now. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler, and I am on opposition's team. In America, there is 26 million people who does not have access to healthcare. And with development, you can bring that number down by a wide margin and save lots and lots of people.
Objection. It's a debate. Take the microphone then.
Okay, so what I want to ask you is that not only in the United States, there's a lot of countries which is not developed yet, and there's a lot of people in a full country who doesn't even have home and who doesn't have any home. And are you really saying that you're prioritizing the development of the United States rather than a full country that all the nation people is already poor and don't have access to any life structure and infrastructure?
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, the reason we're focusing on the United States is because they're one of the big countries, and they're just one of the countries with quite a few problems.
Hence why we're focusing on them. We can't focus on other countries. There are many other countries with said problems. And you also mentioned yeah, basically you're just focusing. We're just taking United States down basis.
And that not just being said about the healthcare, but also what we can build. Even though we take away our environment, we can take back for what we can build. When we develop, we can always rebuild. The point here is that even though the environment will go down, in the years to come, we will have taken back the carbon emissions that we've taken and bring back more oxygen for our earth to have a better ecosystem. Thank you.
Final speaker.
Development causes climate destruction.
Please speak in the microphone. I'm sure you should be hearing yourselves. Come on, guys.
Development causes climate destruction. Much of climate change, climate instability, is the product of human development. It is extreme weather events like droughts, heat waves, or flooding. Climate instability impacts not only the environment, but us as species as well. We cannot go on with the climate being so unpredictable. We cannot go on not knowing whether or not tomorrow will be extremely hot or freezing cold. We cannot go on like this. Change needs to happen now. Carbon dioxide levels need to decrease dramatically to keep our beautiful planet alive. Don't you want for your children to live a long, healthy life? Well, that won't be a possibility if climate instability continues.
Objection.
So our opposition keeps talking about the future generations, but there's really no way to prevent a problem for our future generations. It's either we don't develop and we work on our environment, and they have to do all of the dirty work on developing, and then have this debate again on whether we should develop or sustain the environment, which really is getting us nowhere. Or we could or we could develop, and in the future we can have that technology that we developed with. And I'm not saying we're gonna exterminate the environment forever. I'm saying that with that development, we're gonna use it to actually rebuild our environment and rebuild these places that have been burned down for our benefit of the future and the present. Thank you very much.
Objection.
Since you guys are saying that as a subject, future generation, and as I said before, there are steps to developing. And as you guys say, we also focus on America a bit too much. Here's another country, the Central African Republic. Their main problem is that political power, which is a countrywide issue, not a global-wide issue. And their other problem is their lack of resources, which is a countrywide issue. Hence, why they have to focus on developing themselves to help the globe, help everyone else after in environmental development. And one of the reasons is, and another reason is that they have regional conflicts with other countries.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your development plans are going to destroy the minuscule amount of stability left. Terrific levels of carbon dioxide are released, cutting the tiniest bit of development. Speak up. Okay. Climate stabilization is increasingly beneficial to the safety and security of Earth's species. I must ask you now, do you want this life? Do you wish to live in a world that is doomed? Are you really going to put your morals away for money? Is money more valuable to you than people's lives? Development is killing us and our planet. Are you going to kill us?
Final speaker.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm here to talk about also the fact that, so you said that to develop, we have to also manage and we also take care of the environment and also those this weather, for example, extreme weather problems, so that we don't want to live in a doom world basically. But however, to develop as a person and to develop as a whole, like a whole community, the background, the environment, which is the country and the whole world, should be improved first. That's the priority that we should take care of first. So look, if you think of the current world, we see a lot of developments. For example, we have AI, and then we also have and there's also like wars going on. A lot of changes going on in this world. In order to prevent and in order to develop what we're supposed to, we also have to develop the whole base, which is the country. Of course, I'm not saying that we should not not care about. We should just like ignore the problem of climate, problem of the environment. However, I'm telling that the priority that we should take care of is the development of the whole country first. Thank you.
Conclusions, 15 seconds.
So in conclusion, we believe that preserving the earth and developing for certain countries isn't only a goal for certain countries. It's a global and international goal. So everyone should be focusing on helping the LEDCs develop at a fast pace, but they should do this green. It should be sustainable.
Thank you. Conclusions.
In conclusion, we want our future generations to live a better life than we did in a more developed country. And we don't want them to be left in poverty with no development just so that they could see some pretty flowers. We want them to develop, and we want that to continue so that one day we can strive and hopefully come back to a world with a nice environment. Thank you.
Thank you. We don't have time, so thank you very much.
Next up, we have Machi and Tristy doing a presentation about sustainable development goals.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Krishti. My name is Machi. We are from 7A. My partner Machi and I will be talking about sustainable development goals. Here's a small question to all of you. Can anyone tell me what is sustainable development?
You're seeing this, but the people on YouTube can't. That's why it's like.
Okay, so let me explain. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So before getting into the main topic, I will first briefly explain what SDGs are. So there are goals set by the United Nations, which are 193 countries, to make the earth more sustainable and to develop more. There are a total of 17 different sustainable development goals to be achieved by 2030. The United Nations was created by people who are determined to prevent war from ever happening again and to protect future generations from war. So this graph shows how much each country has achieved each of the SDGs. So green, those are SDGs achievements. Yellow, those are challenges remain. Orange, those are significant challenges remain. And red dots are moderate challenges remain. So as we can see, goals number 2, number 6, number 8, number 11, number 12, number 13, number 14, and number 17. The table shows that no country has yet achieved these goals. We'll be talking about the 3 most important ones, goals number 2, number 13, and number 14.
Let's talk about the goal number 2, which is zero hunger. The objective of this goal is to keep producing food and sharing it with others so that there should be no deaths caused due to hunger. The UN website says, on an average, each person wastes 120 kilograms of food per year. It's very scary, right? So as my partner Nachi explained, that in the statistics, no country has achieved this goal yet, although some countries have already started. It is very important and necessary to achieve this goal to sustain the future of the world. We all know that it's difficult to achieve because there are many prevailing problems such as social and economical problems. This is the report from 2023.
So this is the percentage for the countries with the most percentage of hunger. So countries like Madagascar is having 41% of hunger. So there are total 22 countries, and these are percentage. So the country with the highest percentage of people suffering hunger is Central African Republic, having 42.3%, and the lowest is Guinea, having 27.1%.
Goal 13 is climate action. Climate change is a real and undeniable threat to our entire civilization. It's a variation of climatic conditions like drought, floods, etc. It's the most important thing which should be reduced for the planet because climate changes cause serious problems like global warming and there will be no trees, etc. Small initiatives like changing light bulbs to LED lights could help in slowing down the climate changes. Few other initiatives like using energy sources which do not emit greenhouse gases like hydro, solar, wind, energy, etc. can also be good help.
So first, goal 14, life equal water. This goal means to conserve the oceans, sustainably use it, and other marine resources. Overfishing, plastic pollution, and ocean warming is a major problem happening to cause fishes to die. There are 10 targets set by the United Nations to complete these goals, and we'll be talking about 2 of them.
These are the 2 targets we'll be talking about. They are reduce marine pollution and reduce ocean acidification. So target 14.1, which says reduce marine pollution, is that by 2025 we should reduce the marine pollution and of all kinds like throwing waste in seawater, also called water pollution, etc. Target 14.3, which is reduce ocean acidification, is to minimize the impacts of ocean acidification by enhanced scientific cooperation. We're going to have a small quiz based on our presentation now. By what year should the Sustainable Development Goals be completed? A. 2070, B. 2027, C. 2030, or D. 2080?
See?
Raise your hand if you think the answer is A.
Oh.
Oh, you already shut it.
Sorry.
But somebody shut it, see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many sustainable development goals are there? A. 20, B. 15, C. 27, D. 17.
D.
The answer is D. 17. How many countries are there in the UN? A. 197, B. 193, C. 195, or D. 190?
Yes, that's right. answer is B, which is 193. So what goals are not achieved yet? A goals 2, 6, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17. B, 1. Yes, that's right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Next up, we have now and 200 an animation about animals or humans. The choice is yours.
So, hello, my name is Suhan, and I'm Nayo, and we did an animation on animals or humans, the choice is yours. It's
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Let us keep in mind the close bond we have with the animals that live on Earth. While we stand in the magnificence of nature, not only are our feelings of empathy and compassion for them morally required, but they are also essential to our own well being. We pay respect to the complex network of life that supports us all when we acknowledge their consciousness and indestructible value. Let's learn to love and respect all living things, since going the strengthens our ties to one another or encourages peacefully coexistence in this priceless planet. Now you guys will watch the video. Have a good moment.
So, here are some key animal characters who stand as symbols of resilience in the face of immense environmental challenges. Mm. First, let us pay homage to the polar bear, the majestic ruler of the Arctic, which, with its snow white fur and powerful frame, the polar bear embodies the stark beauty of the frozen wilderness. Yet, this iconic species faces a dire threat as melting ice caps diminish its habitat, leaving it stranded and vulnerable in a rapidly changing world. Next, we turn our attention to orangutan, the gentle giant of the rainforest. With its soulful eyes and dexterous hands, the orangutan is a symbol of intelligence and grace. But rampant deforestation and illegal logging have decimated its habitat, pushing this magnificent creature to the brink of extinction. We must also recognize the plight of the coral reef, home to a dazzling array of marine life. From the vibrant clownfish to the graceful sea turtle, the coral reefs teems with the biodiversity. Yet, rising rising sea temperatures and ocean acidification threaten to bleach these delicate ecosystems, robbing countless species of their homes and livelihoods. And let us not forget that humble bee, the tireless worker essential to the pollination of our crops, with its delicate wings and keen sense of smell, the bee plays a vital role in sustaining the balance of nature. But with widespread pesticide use and habitat loss have decimated bee populations, impairing in not only their future but our own food security as well. Mm. As we stand witness to the challenges facing these key animal characters, let us be reminded of our shared responsibility to protect and preserve the natural world. Through collective action and unwavering determination, we can ensure a brighter future for all creatures, great and small.
For the reality that humans ourselves are often the architects of environmental challenges. That type of primitive causes untold suffering to our fellow inhabitants to the animals. From deforestation to pollution, from climate change to habitat destruction, the fingerprints of human activities are unmistakably present in the crisis facing wildlife today. But while it is undeniable that we are the cause of much of this suffering, it is also within our power to be the solution. First and foremost, we must acknowledge the interconnectedness of all life on Earth. The fate of animals is inexorably linked to our own, and the health of our planet is is by recognizing this interconnected, begin to shift our perspective from one to domination to one.
We can't hear, so the video, we'll upload the video to the channel, okay? So thank you, boys.
So next up is Tesselman Sky with a poem about plastic.
Take it up, take it up.
So, my name is Tustum, he's Kai. So we're doing a poem about plastic.
Plastic is the problem. Plastic is also the solution. So why is there pollution? It's when people listen.
All those horrible litter will make the animals feel bitter. Too much trash in the river, in this case, is not the more the merrier.
A plastic bag, flying high in the air, whirling around and around, floating in the whirlwind without a care, in the blue above the ground.
Dancing in the sky, higher and higher still, not bothered by how nature will die, not knowing what it will kill.
Lost in the wind, high in the blue. When it will come down, nobody knows. Floating in a room, not for me and you, wherever the wind decides to blow.
And when it descends, no one knows where it will end. The bag and the world will not be friends if the bag will fall into the river with other shenanigans.
Plastic bags, they are a disaster. Using them is destroying our environment a lot faster. They clog the pipes and choke the drains. They contain lead which damages our brains.
Plastic bags, what a source of pollution. Let us stop for a moment and think of a solution. We have to stop spoiling our nature's beauty because saving the earth is everyone's duty.
Plastic must be reduced on Earth, even if it helps us in many lanes. Too much will cancel out nature's birth, so we must lessen the pain.
That's why I should reuse and you should reduce. We all should recycle. Let's stop pollution. Thank you.
Now doing a PowerPoint presentation is Krishita and Devi about climate change and the migration problem.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kantisha. My name is Krishita. Today we are going to talk about climate change and the migration problem.
First of all, do you have any idea about climate change and the migration problem? If not, let's find out what it is.
These are the topics we are going to talk about. How to solve the migration problems. How will climate change and the migration issues affect our world?
How can we help make climate change better?
How to solve the migration problems. The first thing to know is migration is not a problem to be solved. In fact, it is a powerful driver of sustainable development for migrants and their communities. It brings significant benefit in the form of skills, strengthening the labor force, investment, and cultural diversity, among others.
However, migration that is not safe, orderly, and regular results in problems that the world is currently seeing unfold, like the thousands of migrants that have died or gone missing along the dangerous migration routes, or the growth of migrant smuggling and human trafficking.
How will climate change and the migration issues affect our world? Over time, a bigger issue may be migration followed by slow, gradual climate change impacts. Hotter temperatures can threaten farm livelihoods. Sea level rise can make flood more serious, and desertification can foster complex overwater excess, which all can lead to migration.
How can we help make climate change better?
1. Save energy at home. Switch off the lights and electrical appliances when not using them.
Save energy in how you wash and dry clothes.
Understand and improve your home's energy use.
Manage your heating and cooling use.
2. Change your home source of energy. Switch to green power generated from renewable energy sources like solar, wind, hydropower, and solar power.
Use less energy by reducing your heating and cooling use. Wash your laundry with cold water or hanging things to dry instead of using a dryer. 3. Walk, bike, or take public transport or switch to an electric vehicle. Expanding transit access can cut electricity demand, climate pollution, and the need for the mining raw materials powering energy transition.
Vehicle pollution harm our health and contain greenhouse gases that can cause climate change. 4. Reduce, reuse, repair, and recycle. Recycling paper and cardboard containers reduce waste and save trees.
Use cloth bags or backpack when shopping.
Avoid packaging that won't go in the recycling bin like foam. 5. Eat more vegetables. As you know, eating more vegetables is good for our health and also good for climate change by
plant-based foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, peas, nuts, and lentils generally use less energy, land, and water. However, lower greenhouse intensities than animal-based foods.
Thank you for listening.
Next up, we have Maria and Jake doing a presentation about tourism, the enemy of the earth.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Welcome. We are doing a presentation about tourism. My name is Mariam.
My name is Jane.
Can you start?
What is tourism? Tourism is traveling for pleasure or business, other both known as tourism. It is a social, cultural, and economic phenomenon that involves people traveling to other nations or locations.
What is mass tourism? Mass tourism is when a huge number of people travel to the same destination at the same time of the year. Some effects of mass tourism are pollution. One major factor of tourism is transportation. Flights, cruises, and other modes of travel emit greenhouse gases. Overcrowding. When too many tourists visit a destination, it can strain the local infrastructure and resources. It may lead to crowded streets and even damage natural settings. Exploitation of locals. When tourism becomes the main source of income for a destination, it can sometimes lead to unfair wages, poor working conditions, and an imbalance of power between tourists and locals.
What is sustainable tourism? Sustainable tourism is a tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, and environmental impacts, addressing the needs of visitors, the industry, and the environment and host communities.
Benefits of sustainable tourism.
Economy. Sustainable tourism benefits the economy by generating income, creating jobs, and promoting local culture and projects.
Natural environment. One of the main benefits of ecotourism is that it reduces pollution and waste by promoting responsible use of natural resources.
Cultural heritage. It places cultural heritage and local communities at the center of decision-making processes.
Infrastructure. It promotes economic development enhances visitors' experiences, and preserves natural and cultural heritage. Disadvantage of sustainable tourism.
Economic leakage. It means that a location or country is not reaping all of the economic benefits of tourism.
Damage to the natural environment. A harm to natural environment and frequently undergo destruction due to infrastructure development.
Lack of job security. It may deter local communities from actively participating in tourism-related activities.
Foreign business owners. Big business owners are normally foreign. This takes away the opportunity for locals to start their own businesses.
Why is tourism bad?
Climate change. It poses significant challenges to the tourism industry and can have negative impacts on destinations and businesses in various ways such as loss of biodiversity, rising seas, and health.
Crimes. High crimes rate, safety concerns, and negative perceptions decrease visitors' arrival and impact the revenues of tourism-related business.
Seasonal nature of tourism. It refers to the phenomenon where tourists' arrivals and activities in a destination exhibit fluctuations based on specific times of the year, such as peak seasons, off-peak seasons, and special events.
And last but not least, why is tourism good?
Job creation. Job creation within the tourism industry can have several positive effects and contribute to the overall economic, social, and cultural development of a destination.
Cultural preservation. Tourism can play a pivotal role in preservation and promoting of cultural heritage by creating opportunities for communities to showcase their tradition, music, and other cultural expressions to visitors.
Economy. Cultural tourism can significantly contribute to the local economy by attracting visitors interested in experiencing authentic cultural experiences and events. Thank you for your attention.
Now for our last PowerPoint presentation, please welcome Aryan, who is doing it about education, the face of the curriculum.
Hello everyone, good morning, and my name is Aryan Sharma, and I'm going to be talking about education and how can sustainable development be fit into education. So what happens if we teach students about sustainability by making a separate subject? So the first thing that will happen is that students will just study for grades, not for knowledge. They will not properly understand why it's important. So what happens if we teach sustainability in all subjects? So by teaching about sustainability in all subjects, they're going to understand due to repetition. And by understanding how important it is, they will be more serious towards it. So I have some examples in how you can how can you fit in sustainable development in education. For example, in every subject, students could take e-notes by their iPads, and for those parents who are concerned whether their child will play games in class, the school could probably uh, block all game websites on their Wi-Fi. So here's a table I made about different subjects and what could we do, how could we fit in sustainable development in each of these subjects. So all these subjects have one common point, which is posters which use recycled paper and look good. So I'm going to go with maths first. Analyzing data and solving math problems over carbon footprint and etc. Make students do questions which help in real life. English. Read different literature over the ecosystem, global warming, and sustainable development, etc. Science. projects which help us to spread awareness. For example, filtration of water, creating models of eco-friendly building, have educational field trips to study ecological change, etc. So, individuals and societies make small group works and debates over sustainable development, make projects over ecology like recycling, renewable energy, etc. What students should be learning about for sustainability, according to me. How to take steps towards an eco-friendly environment and learn to love your planet. By learn to love, I mean like students can learn how they can reduce their electrical usage in their homes. How can they recycle plastic through different ways? So, what ICS Paris has done so far? So, for last year, as far as I remember, I did a project in science in which I had to make a filter through which, from one end, I had to pour dirty water, and from the other end, clean water would come out. And the debates in INS class about ecology, the environment, social development, and everything. So, and this year's grade 7, group 3, we used recycled paper to make poems on that. And if you look through in that board, it's hung up there. If you go out, you will see different types of poems. It is made by recycled paper. Thank you everyone for listening to this.
So guys, it's only 2 minutes left. Okay, so bear with them, please.
To end it all off, we have Mia, Kath, and Sarah doing an iMovie presentation about the future of the world.
So, hi everyone. Today we'll be doing like a small play representing what we think the year 3020 would look like if we don't take care of our planet.
I will be playing a character that comes from 2024 and is lost and doesn't know what's happening.
Me and Mia will be playing the characters from 3020 from the future. Thank you.
Yeah, but keep the microphones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sit over there. Sit over there. Or face the door. Face the door. And then go back to the door. Okay. Ready? Action.
Excuse me, guys. Where are we?
Marlin.
Marlin? What year are we in?
3020.
30. Okay, well, my head is spinning. Do you know if $20 is enough for a coffee?
What's a dollar?
What's a coffee?
The brown beverage with caffeine.
We don't know what you're talking about. If you want, we can go sit down and like discuss about it.
Yeah, that would be great.
So, are you lost or?
Well, actually, I entered my room and somehow I teleported here. I don't know what happened, to be honest. By the way, why is it so hot in here?
It's Mars. Everywhere's hot.
Mars? What about the Earth?
What's the Earth?
Oh, I took this in history class. The Earth was a planet that got mad at us, and natural disasters took over, and the Earth collapsed.
From what?
Climate change.
Do you guys know how
I can go back?
any way I can go back? Why would you want to go back? Then you hear the Earth collapse from climate change.
Yeah, but is there any way I could prevent it?
There are some ways.
Like? spread awareness about climate change to make sure people know what it's doing to the earth. And stop cutting trees, and for the transportation, stop using trains or buses, just walk or ride a bike.
All right, is this a great idea? I'll try my best. Is there any way I can go back to 2024? Do you guys know any way?
Yes, you can take that door and it will take you back.
All right, thank you.
But
And make sure to spread the rumor so by 3020 we won't have to live on Mars.
All right, yes, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for coming to our conference.
And thank you for listening. Bye.
Have a good day.